MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. Today is Martin Luther King Day, as I mentioned earlier this morning. If you're going somewhere like a bank or to buy a tag or pay taxes, you won't be able to do it. There'll be a lot of businesses closed. It's Martin Luther King Day. First off, I'd like to introduce you to my daughter. This is Madison. You want to say hello?
Hi, good morning. I had to wake up at 5 a.m. to look decent, so you're welcome.
Got out of bed. Mm-hmm. All right. We will. She still isn't married, but if we do get her married, I get to claim her for the next 2 years on taxes. That's the deal if we get her married off.
You know, I think that's a ripoff right there. That doesn't help me. Okay.
It does me.
For you, not me, though.
Madison still lives at home with me, and she drives me to the store and takes care of me quite often.
Yes, I do. Taking you in the snow to go to Dollar General yesterday because you were out of peppermints.
I'm hooked on peppermint, and I thought I needed some more to make it through the day, so she drove me down and got me some. Everybody got to find one of those during the snow. Well, the snow has come and gone. I didn't get to see you much during it. Did you get to enjoy it?
Yeah, I went outside with Sophie and tried to make a little owl, and then my fingers about froze off, and I went inside.
It was cold, wasn't it?
It was cold, but it was pretty. Woke up at 6 a.m. and saw it all outside, and I just got happy when I saw snow, and then it started melting. I got really sad. And
it did not last long here. After daylight, it started dwindling pretty quick there. But boy, it sure gets you in a good mood to see stuff like that. There was a bunch of kids. That was their first time to ever see snow in Mississippi and Alabama. I saw a bunch of people doing the sledding behind the four-wheelers. Saw that a good bit yesterday.
Wonder how well that went, if they didn't fly off or anything like that.
You got to hold on.
You got to hold on really tight or you're going to be gone.
The bigger the pasture, the more fun it is. Now, I did see pictures, and I don't know why, but I did see bikini pictures yesterday of people out in bikinis. How you people do that, I do not know.
I know. You're trying to freeze and get sent to the hospital at that point.
I couldn't handle that.
You should go out in a Speedo one day. Try to see what they're seeing.
I do just as good in a pair of shorts.
You barely wear those.
Yeah, I'm not a big shorts wearer.
Every time we went to the beach, you'd wear blue jeans and nearly have a heat stroke.
That was me. Somewhere in life, I did find a pair of shorts, and I've changed a little bit. But I didn't wear them for years. But just part of my makeup.
Uh-huh.
But the snow is moving out. Keep this in mind. The temperature has moved up above freezing now. We're 35, 36 this morning. So keep in mind that even still, if you live on the rural route, there could be some bridges that have something that hadn't quite unthawed yet. We did have that problem in Meridian a little bit earlier this morning. Reports of several accidents around 152, exit 151 this morning. Single car accidents. And then we also had some reports of some wrecks that happened past Meridian in between here and Hickory in those areas. Mile marker 116, a 18-wheeler hit the side of the guardrail. They were working on that. Also, exit 130 had an accident, and the Mississippi Highway Patrol had been called out to that also. So be careful is what we're saying. It was just slippery there, but that will go away. Now, let me pull this up, and let's discuss this just a minute. As we move in toward the end of the week, expect January to be the coldest that we've had so far since all of this cold weather began. And as we pull this up to show this is the forecast for this week. We're only getting to 49 today, so it's going to be cold.
Woohoo.
Brr.
Cold.
29 tonight is our low. Now, that's not so bad because there's no rain mentioned. As we come along 42 tomorrow night, we get this rain on Wednesday, and this is some concern because if it were to change, we'd be in a mess. We're going to get to nearly 70 on Wednesday, and then it starts raining. That nighttime low is 36. Rain and that do not mix. That's only 4 degrees above freezing. The next night it's 25.
It looks like tornadoes could because of that giant jump.
Never know. That's there. But if we were to drop below 32, we would have extreme freezing in our area. So we'll watch this. Right now, that's not being said, but just put that in the back of your mind that something could happen. Look at here come Friday night.
Good
22.
gosh. 39 degrees on Friday, all day?
All day.
Oh.
42 Saturday, so it'll be cold. It'll be great for deer hunting. But
if you like freezing in a stand, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I carry a heater, and I advise you to do so. But as you look at this, we've got some very cold nights ahead of us. So be prepared. Be on this. And we'd like to welcome Reed Tree Service as a sponsor to the show. Big thank you to Mike and all of his gang that if you need a tree cut, you got something hanging over your house, talk to them. They can get that taken care of. They'll help you there. And also want to thank Honeysuckles. You'll see their logo come up here in just a moment. They're a floral boutique, and that's a tough word for me to say sometimes. Boutique.
There's a lot of words you can't say.
I know. I stumble around, and I try to act like I know what I'm talking about. They're located on North Hills. And if you get ready for Valentine's Day, need some flowers, well, they'll be glad to help you there. We'll have more from them coming up in just a little bit.
You may need to go there for Valentine's Day for Mama.
Yeah, I need to take care of her, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
But 30, how many years? I've been 31 years, is that right, Madison? I think that's right, 31.
I don't know.
It's a lot of them. Time just keeps flying by.
Yeah, great.
We did see that there was an accident in Jackson, Mississippi yesterday that left one child dead. So sad to have to even report on that. I mentioned that earlier this morning. They have not released the name or anything like that, but it was a single car crash. This is an assumption that it had something to do with the colder weather, and they slipped off the road and had a wreck, and a child died. We don't know the age. It was on Hanging Moss Road in the Jackson area. So
ice is scary.
It is.
Especially black ice, because you can't see it, and once you're on it, you can't stop it at all. It's horrifying.
You've even slid around a little bit before, haven't you?
Yeah, I about cried every single time because I'm so scared. I'm a big baby.
Well, it happens. So be careful when you're driving, especially later on in the week. We'll watch this. Now, the Dark Horse Press mentioned this wreck that happened in Jackson. I'll quickly show you the picture of what they reported here. This was a wreck off of I-55 where a car is hanging off 30 feet in the air. They were very fortunate that the car didn't tumble on down. But that was in Jackson also. That happened Friday before the bad weather moved in. But you hear these things where people run off bridgeways and they fall 20, 30 feet. Be careful.
I wonder, how they got out without, the car, rocking back and forth. I know that's a lot of weight, but, it's the fear also. It makes you kind of mess up. Oh, no, if I fall, I'm gone.
Yeah, you see that in the movies all the time where the cars are rocking and they have to climb out.
Imagine that for yourself. No, thanks.
Yeah, that's not quite my pick to be involved in. But wrecks do happen. We had some fender benders this morning, also out in Zero community. So be on your best behavior when you're driving there as you go about. Rain always makes it a little bit more difficult no matter what you're doing.
Especially my truck. I ain't got what's
the word?
Traction. I have
traction.
None. No, I have no traction.
Two-wheel drive.
No, I got nothing. I'm gone. If I slip, I'm gone.
You need a four-wheel drive. But you've done good. You've had that since you were, 16?
Yeah, I've gone in a couple of accidents, smacked into someone, but there is barely a dent on my car. That's why we call it the bulldozer. Can't be destroyed.
It's been a good one, that's for sure. We say a few good mornings to people up in Adam. Milton Savell, how in the world are you today? Terry Shelton says, I'd rather the cold weather than the hot and humid weather.
Same.
You like cold weather better than hot weather?
No, I can't stand sweating. Sweating's gross and stinky. No
so you like it there?
Yes.
Gail Williams says, no shorts for somebody from Scuba. Yeah, there's a lot of people who agree with that in that area there. Let's see, Barbara Vick, good morning to you. Good morning from Cooksville. And she says hello to you, Peggy Simmons does.
Hello.
Also, we say good morning to Patsy Gilbert, Clark County. Let's see, Lily Hampton is up today. She says good morning to you also.
Yeah, good morning.
Denise says good morning. Quite a few folks up there. Joyce Gressett joining us there from the Chunky area. Glad y'all tuned in to be a part of this as we begin today. Let's see. As we get things rolling, let me think here what else is going to happen today. As I did mention everything with the holiday going on today. A lot of businesses are closed, so you won't be able to do as much. Things will get back to normal. School is out today also.
Yeah, school is out today. So after that snow, they can finally kind of rest after that.
Yeah, that does happen there. All right, as we turn our thoughts to the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, as we mentioned, it's going to be a little bit cooler. And, we mentioned going by and getting yourself a toboggan, one of the greatest things that we'll ever do there. It messes your hair up, but that doesn't matter when you're that cold and have to put that on. That's not a factor into the equation. And, of course, warm socks to keep you going as well if you need any of that. They got so much to offer at the Co-op, from T-shirts to jeans. If you need a pair of work pants, they've got some great ones there for you. And as always, if you're looking for a pair of overalls or anything to that nature, or blue jeans, they carry that as well. Vest, they got it for you there. And, of course, great hats. If you need any safety vests, they carry those as well. Boots for the working guy or lady, whatever the case is there. You need a great pair of Georgia boots. They carry them along with Ariat and other great brands there to keep you comfortable during that work day. They got them. Of course, when it comes to deer hunting, they've got it all. Deer attractants galore. See them there. Yeah, this is one of those nice tents that you can get along with the deer cameras. A few of those, and you can use those for security as well. And don't forget the scales. You can get all of that and more there. Corn, if you need to take care of your horse and cattle. Sweet feed, you need any of that for the hogs, they got that also, including your pets and a whole lot more. Guns and ammo, you'll find it all at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. They opened up at 7:30 this morning. They'll be there till about 5 this afternoon. See them? Again, it's the Lauderdale County Farm Supply.
No matter what hat you wear, if you're hurt on the job, you're gonna need me. I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. Under workers' comp law, you're entitled to certain benefits. But when you're released from the doctor, someone's got to be there to make sure you get a fair settlement. While you're healing, we'll be fighting for you. We've helped thousands of our injured clients get their medical bills paid and recover lost wages. And we're ready to help do the same for you today. One call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. Candace has got the morning off. She was feeling a little poorly, and we've asked Madison to fill in this morning and be a part of it. So thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Keep this in mind as one thing that is, we had no major crime that I'm aware of over the weekend in our area. As always, and if you've got a house for sale, this seems to, Meridian has turned out to be sort of the destination of, I don't know any other way to word it, of homeless. If you've ever sat there and watched the trains come into town, they bail off the train right before it goes past coming into town, and then they go wherever. But people that have homes up for sale, I have seen this over and over, of vagrants breaking into homes and camping out in them. So if you've got a home that is up for sale and you don't live there, keep track of that. Check in on it often to make sure that doesn't happen to yours. And the next big thing that happens every day, every night in the area, and this happens all across the nation, is breaking into cars. I see more and more of this every day in our area of you leave something on the seat of your home, of your car rather, outside parked. People break into your car either if you leave it, and especially if you leave it open. They just ramble through and get what they want. You'll see videos of that, Community Watch and other places that happens all the time. So be up to bar on that, and don't be a victim to any of that. Big news over the weekend: Sarah Evans, country singer, Suds in the Bucket. Y'all remember her?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No.
She's a big country star. Her husband has been arrested for abuse. From what I understand, he tried to run over with a car. He's been arrested in a Nashville jail this morning.
A car?
Yeah, they were in an argument or something, and he tried to bump her with the car.
And she should have yanked him out and bumped him back too.
Yeah, the police did.
Good.
They took him on downtown. Another thing that I ran across, and this was interesting: what happens when you date somebody and you break it off, and well, they won't leave you alone? They just keep bugging you. Well, let me pull this up. This was interesting. I found this on Nashville Scoop. And here's a lady that, well, she's 49 years old, and she just couldn't get the fact that her boyfriend didn't want her anymore. She's 49-year-old Carla Hillard. She was booked into the Metro Nashville jail Saturday night on multiple outstanding warrants related to the stalking of her ex-boyfriend, Ronnie Perfect.
Love his last name. Perfect.
Yeah, Ronnie Perfect. How would you like to have that name? The couple ended their relationship in late September, and since then, she has continued to stalk and harass him. Now, Ronnie's 60 years old.
You don't need that kind of toxic stuff in his life at that point.
No. Some of the incidents included her showing up at his home and work and refusing to leave. And then she used a heavy marker to write some ugly language on the hood of his truck while he was at work. Most recently, she broke into his house, chased him through the residence, and she only left when his dog bit her. leaving a trail of blood. She's been freed on $5,000 bond.
You know she's just going to go right back to him once she's out. He is never going to have a peaceful life ever again.
That one shocked me there. She wouldn't leave it. And what happens when your wife... Here's another example of this that I got a kick out of as you read this. Mr. Perfect, he was something else. But say your husband owns a business and you really think that, well, he should hire your brother, your husband, and he doesn't want to. Let's look at our next suspect that's been arrested in Nashville. This is pretty funny. 28-year-old Lillian Stout Cox was at the top of golf with her husband, who owns a car lot there. She got upset when he would not hire her brother and caused such a scene at the golfing place that he drove back to the car lot and left her. By the time he took a cab, by the time he got there, she had already gotten there. Security video showed the argument occurred, and after that, she demanded that he give her some of his prescriptions, which he refused. She began destroying his computers and furniture throughout his business. She's been arrested on domestic assault and vandalism.
What?
She tore up his office, beat it up, just because he wouldn't hire his brother.
She just got mad?
She was mad.
Oh, big baby. Wow.
She told the reporter that she would sue him if he reported that, and he said he was not scared and reported it anyway to everybody. But that's just one of the things that goes on nationwide. And so I thought I'd share those. Those were on the humorous side there. And Sarah Evans' husband, here he is right here. Here's his arrest picture from there. Arrested the Nashville jailhouse there. More will come out on that as we go through the next few days and things of that nature.
When you marry someone, you don't really know the person until like after you've married them. Like I was reading these TikTok comments.
TikTok,
yes,
which I don't have.
You should. It's funny. There's this woman that reads these comments, and she was talking about these people's grandparents, and a lot of them say, well, my granddad hit my grandma, and then she came back and stabbed him, and then called 911 on him, and then he never touched her ever again.
So she retaliated against him.
And she called the ambulance on him.
The police. Yeah. That's some of the headlines that have happened in those areas around Nashville and in those areas there. Yesterday, I'm not sure if everybody there was a standoff in Texas at a synagogue, a Jewish synagogue. Ended up, he took like 4 or 5 people hostage. In the end, he was taken out. Now we find out that 2 teenagers, and I don't have the full story as to what their connection on this is, but they have been arrested in connection with the gunman. They have not released the names and ages of these people. 18, they did release the age, but they have not released names of this. So there's more to come out of this. That standoff happened in Texas yesterday, and here's the guy that had the gun, was holding people hostage.
Oof.
So he's no longer a factor, and they'll dig deeper into this to find out what happened. Prince Andrew, are you keeping up with the royals and all of this?
Kinda.
Prince Andrew has got his hands full. He has been stripped of all royal titles. He is no longer a prince. Anything that he was over has been taken away. Even word that he dated Ghislaine Maxwell at one point, insiders say. That's not a great place to be right now.
Sounds like you've got bad taste.
Yeah, very bad. Also, and I don't know I'm a grown man. He's a grown man. I'm not sure exactly how old he is, but he's probably, I think, in his 60s at this point.
Oh, yes. He looks wrinkly.
Okay. Madison putting the wrinkly on him. But word is that he's been yelling at the servants for dropping his teddy bears. Did I mention he was in his 60s and has a teddy bear collection? I
mean, I guess he's lonely, and he needs about a lot of them to make a person, I guess, like a body pillow,
Madison.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Just try to help him out a little bit.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead, and here's a picture of 2 of his teddy bears there that he had up in his room. Did I mention he's a grown man again? I thought I did. I just wanted to clarify that with everybody there. Odd. So the Queen has, as Denise said, has got her problems there with family members. This is going to be a scandal, and it's going to be bad for him in the end. I think they will probably prove some things that he doesn't want to come to light. The Royals do have a mess on their hands. Mm-hmm. As we were enjoying the snow, yesterday we had, now this is so far all that I know about, 2 people have died due to the storm that came through our area and has moved on up the coastline. It was 2 people in a wreck that died yesterday in North Carolina. Snowy road, slid off the road and hit a tree. This is going to be very bad for the extreme. It's coming out of Kentucky today and on up to the New York area and the eastern coast today.
Oh, still going?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it just kind of poof, disappeared.
18 inches of snow in some areas. Interstates, last night the interstates around I-40 was shut down after a wreck happened. It was just too icy for people to keep traveling. And as the further north this goes, the worse it gets. Our area got just the beginning of it.
We got like 5, I saw some people, 5, 6, 7 around there.
Which is big for us.
That's a lot.
But it didn't stick long because of the temperatures. It started melting almost as soon as we got it. But in those areas, it's not melting. It's there for a little while.
For a couple of days at least.
Yeah.
Because I know Tennessee, a lot of people have closed their businesses today because there's so much snow, you know?
It is. And, you know, like you look at these pictures, and we did have a few of these pictures where it kind of looked like that for Canton area.
Oh, really?
It had 5, 6 inches on roads. It looked real similar to that.
If you tried to get me to drive out in that, I would have told you no and walk there.
Slippery, slippery, slippery. But, boy, we did have a lot of, and we'll share some of those snowman pictures and things that we had brought up. And the next thing that they're encountering with this, from Atlanta northeasterly from there, is power outages. We were very fortunate and didn't get any of that. So that's what's happened there with that in the last few there. Now, another thing that happened this weekend that I don't know as much about as maybe I should, but the tsunami warning that went out yesterday. It was issued for Hawaii. It did not hit Hawaii, but we've had a second volcano erupt, which caused the original tsunami. It did hit the West Coast with winds and water coming in on the coast there yesterday. We may not have seen the last of this. So just watch the weather. It doesn't affect us here in Mississippi, but still bad for anybody that lives on the West Coast there.
That's terrifying. Like, you live there, and then suddenly there's a tsunami warning that's never happened. Like, that would scare me to death.
And as you look at some of these pictures here, this is how water came in and how it looked along the coast there. It's California as it looked there. But, again, tsunamis are dangerous. I had really never heard of a tsunami until about 5, 6 years ago. Just we're not around it, so I never paid any attention to it.
Earthquakes are just as terrifying. Yeah. When me and Dylan were in Japan, 2 earthquakes happened while we were there, and we just kind of stared at each other while everything was shaking. Didn't know what to do. We just kind of ignored it as best as we could.
But as you look at this, you know, here's another picture of waves that were coming into California there. That's serious. It can destroy things. So tsunamis, and we'll watch that with more earthquakes as all of that happens out there. Wayne Roberts said while he was watching Friday, he killed a 7-point buck while listening to us. That's nice. Pretty good. Congratulations. Morning to you there.
Glad you're everyone's best friends in the morning. You can listen in the woods.
Yeah, you can. You take your earbuds. It won't destroy anything. It won't disrupt anything. Destroy was not the word. Disrupt is the word there. Morning, Bill Reinhardt. Glad to see you there. DeKalb back rolling today. Nothing big going on. Here's a concern. I don't know as much about it maybe as I should, but DirecTV, I think we all know that. And as we saw Dan Bonagino a few months back, or maybe it was going on a year now, that new one that he had started, that new platform, to where it was taken off all Apple, and I can't think of the name of it. It made it there for a little while, and then the people that were joining it, which was a competitor of things like Twitter, it was taken down off of the servers to where they couldn't get out. We look at what's going on with DirecTV. They are dropping One America News, also known as ONAN. It's a very conservative news network. It's still on right now, but as soon as the contract is up, they're not renewing it. Is there reasons behind this? We don't know, but it certainly makes you go...
You want to know why they're doing it.
Yeah, it's another way to keep the conservative news out there. And there's very few places that you get conservative news on a national level. Just very, very few. CNN ratings are dropping left and right every day. I think America's about had their fill of that. As we see Fox News still holding steady, there's a lot of people that still hold a grudge against Fox the way they handled election night and hadn't gone back to them. And they picked just certain people to watch off the network now. Tucker, of course, being one of those, Laura Ingraham, and also Hannity. And Jesse Waters getting a new show. They're beginning at 6, I think. He's replacing that young lady, the blonde-headed girl that was on there. But not a lot of places to get your conservative news, and another one looks like it's going away because they couldn't work out contract negotiations. Something to think on. They don't. There's parts of America that don't want you to know the news, so to speak. I think y'all know what we're talking about that. Good morning, Kim Smith. Hope you're doing well there. Tina Collins joining us there, and also Kathy Thomas. Good morning. Glad to have y'all watching us. Let's see here. This is scary that you would even have to do this, but we brought you the news last week and showed you pictures in Los Angeles. What I'm talking about is trains that come into L.A., and this will start to happen elsewhere in America, where they come into dock and load up and get more trains and hook the different cars. Amazon, FedEx packages, and any other services that are transported on train are getting robbed by the homeless. As they wait to be docked and moved and travel on to the next city, they're getting robbed, and there were packages everywhere. FedEx, and this is scary, as they go into these other countries, they are asking, and they've put this in, to ask to install on their plane missile defense systems on their cargo planes. Why? Because they're being targeted by missiles. And this would be just like you see in the movies, to where Air Force One is being chased and they deploy the fire that flies out of it, and then the missile chases that. That's what FedEx is asking for. These are cargo planes. This is scary.
I think they should put it on the trucks too. I mean, just saying, like.
Well, I saw last week also where these different gangs, you've seen these stores to where people of 60 have gone in and robbed store. We call those flash mobs. And it's almost like, what is that show that had like 8 different versions of it with Van Diesel? The car chasing.
Fast and Furious?
Fast and Furious, where they would start robbing the gasoline tankers. But we're starting to see this to where now they're holding up FedEx trucks and stealing the packages. And this will happen to Amazon trucks and more as the criminals get a little bit smarter. But why? Because there's a lack of police. They're getting away with what they want to across America.
I feel like they do need lasers on their trucks and just kind of zap them in.
Unfortunately,
I think that would work great.
It would probably work, but then it would be lawsuits, because we know how a lot of the judges are across America that don't stand up for what's right. They side with the criminals in so many cases, and I think America is finally and that's where it goes back to the Onan thing getting canceled. America's fed up with all of this, and they want to hear what's really happening. They want the truth, not all this watered down and put in a different light that really isn't the news, the truth, so to speak.
Get that little laser in their foot, they might think twice.
Yeah, they probably would. Here's another guy that you're going to hear more of out of the Republican Party as we look at headline news today. Ron DeSantis, who has become like, maybe this isn't the word to use, but I'll throw it out there, a rock star within the Republican Party. His name, along with Donald Trump, are the two most popular names right now in the Republican Party, and he has just ripped into the Supreme Court, and he picked out Kavanaugh and Roberts. Why? He said they have no backbone, and I think y'all know where I'm headed with the story. Last week, the Supreme Court heard the case of the vaccine, the mandate. Well, the Supreme Court voted that average private companies did not have to mandate the vaccine to go to work. That was a slap in Biden's face. But DeSantis takes this a step further, because if you remember on that ruling, they said medical workers have to get the shot. So DeSantis is telling Roberts and also Kavanaugh, you have no backbone. That should not have been done to healthcare workers. What do y'all agree? What do y'all think? We'd love to hear your comment on that. Do you think that DeSantis is right of calling them boneless, no backbone? That they should have voted in favor of that, to where medical workers have the right to choose whether or not they want the vaccine? There's so many. This is a division in America of, do I get the shot, and the no-vaxxers. I have said from the beginning there, I think it's up to you whether your doctor tells you to get it or not. If you think that your doctor tells you need it, you should get it. If you're healthy and you feel that you don't want it, you should have that right as an American.
Yeah, not everyone can get a shot because everyone's healthy. health is different. So, like, if you get the shot, you could die from it. Or, like
you have
severely
allergies.
sick. Oh, yeah. Huh.
And there's not everything that you can take.
I can't take everything, and I just have to be careful for myself. So forcing people to take shots is really bad because you don't know what could happen, and that family could sue the place. Like you don't know what could happen to you.
You don't, but like Madison, if a cat, it doesn't even matter if somebody pets a cat and comes within 2 feet of Madison, her face and eyes swell up. That close to a kitty cat, she can't be near them. Fortunately, dogs don't do you that way.
I got 57 shots in my back and 56 swelled up. So I'm more likely to die from a piece of dust than a car wreck or a natural disaster than anything else.
And I don't know where you got that from. The rest of the family does not have that.
Yeah, thanks.
You're the odd one on that.
I feel like my genes came from you, so I'm inclined to blame you.
Well, it has to be somebody else. I'm pretty good on things. But the medical staff, and this has caused problems all across America because a lot of the medical staff quit. And then we see in the news to where they tell medical staff, well, even if you've got it, come on in, put on a couple of 2 or 3 masks and go on to work, even though you're sick, because we got to have you. But they want to get rid of people who haven't had the shot. It's a controversy in America right now.
I feel like half the time they don't know what they're talking about. They just want people to work, but then the people that they do already work, they treat them wrong.
Yeah,
so they don't want to work for them anymore. So, like, treat your people better, and then maybe you'll have more employees and more benefits,
Let's hope so. Tina Collins said that her son also is allergic to kitty cats, so there's somebody else there that has this out there. Like
Glad
you do.
I'm not alone.
Facing the world there. But that's Ron DeSantis' thoughts on that. Again, write that name down. Keep it in your memory because you're going to hear from him as we approach these presidential elections, either as vice president or a president, I think. He will definitely be heard of again. He's somebody to be reckoned with on that other side. What's going to happen in the midterms? We'll talk a little bit about that coming up as more poll numbers show that, Biden is not headed in the right direction. They keep slipping further and further and further. So we got that coming up. Also, we're going to go back in history here in just a second, tell you a few things that have gone on today. So don't go anywhere. That's all coming up next here with Scotty Ray and Candace as Madison fills in this morning.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings. Florida strawberries, 1 pound bag, only $3.99. A 4-pack of fresh tomatoes, only $1.99. Green bell peppers, 89 cents each. Hunt's tomato ketchup, a 20-ounce bottle, only $1. Nabisco Nilla wafers, 11-ounce box, 2 for $6. And certified Angus beef chuck roast, only $4.99 a pound.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Madison as we move right along on your Monday morning. It is Martin Luther King Day. If you've forgotten about that, it is easy to get caught up in the daily grind and not realize that it is a holiday.
I always mess up my holidays because I don't know what day it is of the week. Besides, I only look forward to Saturday and Sunday.
You enjoy the weekend?
Yes, I do, so I can rest and be lazy.
Get you a little break there.
But I can't.
All right, let's go back. Let's go back and look at a few things that happened on this day in history. Who remembers one of the greatest, or I don't know if the word greatest is the word, but biggest crime bosses there ever was? And we find out that Al Capone was born on this date in 1899. Almost a name that you don't hear every day, but boy, he set the pace there of crime in the cities and organized crime. Did. This is such a shame as we pull up this next birthday of a celebrity that almost made it. They had all the celebrations set up. Betty White would have celebrated her 100th birthday today. She was born in 1922.
That makes me so sad.
Now, so which show did you like her best on? Did you watch
Golden Girls? Of course, that show's the best.
You have to give it credit.
Exactly.
That is a good show. And I guess you can see what is so common about that show is elderly people moving in together because it is expensive to live these days. And so they all moved in together, best friends, to get by, to save money.
That's why I still live with you. It's expensive. It's horrible trying to find a place to live because you don't get paid enough, and then you're like, well, I guess I'll just rot.
I'll keep you here.
No, thanks.
But I'm trying to get you married. But, you know, they got to have a job, and I get to keep you for taxes.
No, they got to like the same stuff I like, too.
I pick. It doesn't matter what you like.
Excuse you.
You know I'm extremely good at hooking people
you're
up.
You're bad at matchmaking. I got one person in mind that can tell me you're bad at it.
Yeah. Let's go back to 1942. He started out with a different name. He changed it. We all know him. Muhammad Ali celebrated his birthday today, also born in 42. Cassius Clay, if I'm not mistaken, was his given name, if y'all remember that. Hot in Cleveland, Denise Burnside said she was really good on that. That was with the girl from One Day at a Time that was married to Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Christy Belk said she agrees that was a great show to watch.
Exactly. It's fantastic.
It's still played, if I'm not mistaken, reruns over and over and over.
They've had reruns for 20 years. I remember watching it as a kid.
Yeah, and it's still there. Mm-hmm. It'll be around like Andy, I guess. Pretty good, clean show. 1953, a lot of you still hunt these down. They're a lot more expensive today. And this particular car would be worth a lot of cash right now. 1953, this rolled off the assembly line. The 1953 Corvette.
I bet you wish you had one of those.
That's a pretty car. Corvettes are gorgeous. Maybe a few of you have one of those. I do not. Good morning, Miss Ann Cook. Glad to see you're up and at 'em. Hadn't seen you in a little while. Hope you're doing well, you and Mr. John. Let's see. I remember 1986. I was just starting out in radio, and this song came out. It was one of the first times that an album sold 6 million. He had it together then, and somewhere down the road went, whoop. Steve Earle is born on this date, 1955 when he was born. The song that you will remember from him would have been Guitar Town. And he started out, and then he went a different direction than I could follow, to say the least.
A lot of artists do that. They'll play a couple of years of songs that you really like, then all of a sudden, it just gets bad, and you're like, what happened?
And the legends make it, like George Strait. He never did that. He stayed true to what he was, and, well, he's still there. Just as powerful he was as the first time I heard him in 1980 doing Unwound. The man knows what a good song is, and he stayed true to what he done. And there are a few of them like that. Alan Jackson's one of those. And I guess you could classify on the other side of that Lionel Richie. I think he stayed true to what he done with the love songs.
Yeah.
He'd done best at that, and he stayed with it.
Can I just say, I don't know who you were just talking about?
You don't know
I don't know the country music.
He's not country. Lionel is. And he's You're Once, Twice, Three Times a Lady. What else did he sing? Hello. Yeah, Hello, that was it.
Hello?
Sunday Morning, Easy Like Sunday Morning.
No.
He's like the love song where you can buy those for $29.99. Send your check today. And
are you talking about those commercials that played at 4 a.m.? This is the greatest love songs of all time that nearly busted your eardrums, waking you up?
That would be it.
Because I remember that.
Let's see. Milton said he saw a Mitchum car auction, and a 65 Shelby sold for $3.7 million. Woof. That's a lot of cash there.
It's too much. Too much money.
And she said he was also the lead singer for the Commodores. Yeah, I remember back in the day. And I think that Once, Twice, Three Times a Lady was under the Commodores, and then he broke away after that. Now, I know you know this next guy. He was born in 1957, and he is funny. He is fun to watch.
He is one of my favorite guys. I love Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey is really great. Would you say that he's done a better job at Family Feud than Richard Dawson did?
Oh, yeah. He's so funny. He just makes everyone just comfortable and just relax and just have fun. I love Steve Harvey.
Yeah, he is it. He even had a talk show there for a while. Outside of what was that he was announcing, and he said the wrong person won. That it was a beauty pageant.
Miss America.
Oh boy, that was bad.
It was bad, but it's funny though.
Yeah, that you just have to back up and go, I made a mistake.
I mean, he apologized. He didn't mean it.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't.
I mean, he might be dyslexic like me because I can't read at all.
You get a little confused every now and then.
Yeah, I get that from you.
Yeah, I have that numbers issues there. Let's see what else happened on today. Oh, yeah. The guy, let's see. Oh, yeah, Steve Harvey is better than the first guy that kissed everyone.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I don't know why people liked him when he just kind of kissed on everybody.
Could you get away with that today with the way times are?
No.
But Richard Dawson kissed every woman. The one that said it was Miss Universe is what that was that he done that on.
That was Miss America. My bad.
Yeah. He was a judge, she said. Christy Belt did.
Oh, cool.
But, yeah. He was a kisser, that's for sure.
Nasty.
All right. Jim Carrey, y'all remember him? He was born in 1962 on this date. And I'm not sure that I'm a big fan of his.
What? Why?
I just, I don't know. I think
played the Grinch.
he may have paid the Grinch, but I don't think he and I align. I think his political thinking has gone on, and I can't separate that when I watch him in a movie. He's just odd. I'll say that.
You say he's funny at least.
He's not my kind of funny. Really, he's not.
Rewatch The Grinch and then come back to me about that. Okay, that's a great movie. Love that.
Then he said that Richard Dawson was a womanizer.
I can see that. Yeah, big time. Kiss married women.
I have not seen this. Kay said that he has a new show as a judge. Steve Harvey does. Is he trying to take the place of
Judge Judy?
Judge Judy? Is that
You know she's back. Judge Judy's back.
a new one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think with her grandkids or something. She's back though. I'd always watch her after school. Mama would have her on TV.
But I have not seen Steve Harvey as a judge. Is he doing all right?
I would like to think so.
We'll see. All right, there's no way that if you lived during the 70s and you turned on a radio that you didn't hear this, and, well, after 2 years of it being played nonstop, you thought, if I never hear this song again, life will be better. It was 1976 that this song went number one from Barry Manilow. I Write the Songs. Who remembers that?
No.
Now, I do. I was 7 years old at the time.
You're a baby.
It would never go away. She says it's corny, the Steve Harvey thing. We'll see there. But I Write the Songs. Also, this guy, I really liked him. He started out by writing songs for Elvis. You can't beat that. If you get a song on an Elvis album, it's good. Don't Cry Daddy, I think, was one of it. He wrote Kentucky Rain, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm talking Eddie Rabbitt. In 1981, he had the number one song, I Love a Rainy Night. And it's been in several movies. It was in Black Dog. Red Akins re-recorded it. I Love a Rainy Night. Such a beautiful night. That's a great song. I like that one.
I don't know that one either.
And I'm trying to pass on information to my kids, and y'all see what I'm dealing with here. 1971, this guy was born. I didn't realize that Kid was this old, but Kid Rock was born on this date in 1971. Now, forget that writing right there, because I forgot to take it down. But in 71, Kid Rock was born.
Why is everyone born today? Literally, everyone is
It's a big day, big birthday day.
January, 17th is it? Yeah.
Day is the 17th.
And
Apparently, you don't watch the show enough to realize that we do this about every day.
what?
You don't watch me enough to catch all this every day.
No, it's just the birthdays. Everyone's born today.
Kid Rock, he become real close friends with Hank Williams Jr. Has a close connection. And the thing about Kid Rock, he really can sing. It's not all rap. He actually can carry a tune. And if he were to do country, he could do it.
He has a new song out. Kind of sucks.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. 1986, Reba joined the Grand Ole Opry. What a lady she is.
Do you still watch Reba every night with Mama?
Yes.
You should.
I like
great.
Reba.
I love that show, Reba.
And the thing about Reba is I never watched that show when it was on television. I didn't see that. But I catch the reruns. And she did a great job. Whoever that guy that played her son-in-law on there.
He's a great actor, but he's not in anything anymore. I guess he's just kind of low profile.
Yeah.
A lot of people are, though, back days. Like the
that big
Olsen
One
twins,
Big Show. Yeah.
They don't like publicity
They
at all.
made all their money out of clothing after that. They don't have to really do anything anymore.
I mean, I saw an interview when they were kids. They were like, we have to work. We can't have a childhood. So now that they're adults, they don't want to be seen. Can't blame them, though, because I wouldn't want to be either.
Oh, Bill Reinhardt had to bring up that song, Copacabana. Yeah, I heard that one over and over. You know that one? Yeah, I remember that one. Barry Manilow, she said she loved Lola. She was a showgirl. Yeah, yep. I remember that also. Nana Kent says that her sister's birthday is today. What's her name? I didn't get that.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I hope it's a big one there for you. And finally, on what happened in today in history as we go down this name you will remember. She was the first woman that came out with this. And as we go back and look at history, we would find out that a command center was set up to destroy her. And you're thinking, what are you talking about? Yeah, this did happen, and what I just said did happen. Hillary set up a command center to destroy this woman. Paula Jones was the first woman that came out and said Bill had sexually harassed her.
That's terrifying.
He did a lot, and I think that you're going to find out. Maybe you won't. It depends on what happens in this court case as to what else he's done. There's been a lot of things swept under the rug that Americans will never know.
Oh, yeah.
That's just the way it is. Politicians are really good. The more money you got, the more you can hide. That happens every day in America, and I wish I could say I could change that, but I can't. That does happen. Money. There's a bunch of that out there. So that's a little trip down memory lane today. I hope you remember a few of those things and brought back a smile or two to you. Let's turn and talk about our friends over at Godwin Cleaning Services. Now, they do this. You've heard me talking about them. They want to get you lined up for the spring and signed up to get your home cleaned. They do a fantastic job at this. From even starting out with these, just the awnings, getting them clean. It's low pressure. It won't damage them. They'll look new again. From getting your brick taken care of where you've got rust on it, or maybe your house has got the vinyl siding underneath the carport, or maybe your business has got this. They can do that soft washing and make it look brand spanking new again, including your carports, your sidewalks, all this parking area. If you've got a parking lot, talk to them, especially businesses that have the metal buildings. Yeah, get that all cleaned up, including that parking lot. They can remove any of the rust, any of this, to make it look brand new again. That low pressure there, including your homes of getting your roofs. And honestly, if you've never seen this before, it changes the entire look of your home. Look at that. Looks great there. Godwin Cleaning Services will put that roof looking brand spanking new again. Doesn't take as long as you think. A couple of hours, they'll have it back new again. See them from rock to brick. They do it all, including sidewalks. See them today. Get lined up, get signed up to have your home cleaned on a quarterly basis, however you need it done. Call them at 253-8262. That's that Mississippi office. See them today.
Remember, one call, that's all. I'm Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
I guess you don't think it's possible, but yeah, Biden could sink more in the polls, as Americans say they've basically had enough of this. He took a strong economy, and look at it now. You can't get anything. Gas prices are high, and it doesn't matter what affiliation you are, whether you're Democrat, Republican, or you're independent. You're not making as much money. You can't get supplies, and everybody is realizing that it's just a mess. As the majority of Americans say now in this latest poll that they would even like him less if this Build Back Better America plan of his were to pass. 76% of Americans disapprove of it. What does that tell you? And so we have to applaud the West Virginia, Joe Manchin. He held tight. He didn't give in. It did not pass. Joe was kind of like the unsung hero on the Democratic side there. He's really, truly looking out for what's best for West Virginia. And there are so many people, and if you've ever looked at West Virginia, a very poor state, they need jobs. And the Biden administration just really doesn't like what they do in West Virginia as they pick on the coal industry. A lot of people depend on that to make a living. Nothing wrong with trying to earn an honest living, and it just seems... Here's the next thing with Joe News today as we look at this. Remember Joe promising the COVID test, and then Kamala came out 2 weeks ago and said you'll have them by the end of the week, and then they come back and said, whoa, wait a minute, we made a mistake. As we learn more about this, they say that some of the COVID tests will be ready by January the 19th if you need to be tested. The problem is it takes 12 days to order it to get it to you. So by the time that you got it, you would be over the COVID test.
It defeats the purpose of it completely. If you have it, you're better off going to the store, buying it yourself.
Yeah,
taken aback than waiting 12 days for that to show up.
It makes you wonder, do they actually have a plan for anything? It's almost like it's just pull it from thin air and, okay, let's do this today.
And then it never happens.
Yeah, it's just not any well thought out things that go on there. That's the headlines there with Joe today. Let's see, Steve Show is on ABC, they said. He's not a licensed judge. I didn't think he was. Remember the one that I kind of like him? I've listened to his podcast some. Judge Joe Brown. Do y'all remember him?
Yes.
He's going to be running for mayor of Memphis.
Oh, cool.
I hope he gets it. His podcast, boy, he thinks just like you and I do. He's got a very level head on it. Thinks criminals that do wrong should be punished. We'll see with that. Rand Paul says, hey, somebody owes me an apology and they need to do it. And I've got to agree with Rand Paul on this. Do you remember when Rand Paul was banned from YouTube for about 3 weeks to a month, something like that? Well, all that he said was, I don't believe that these material face masks do any good. I don't think they work. And he was banned automatically from that. Well, guess what? The CDC has come out and said, well, Rand Paul is right. Those really don't do any good. You have to have the N95 type mask for them to actually work. The cloth ones don't do any good. Yeah, if you were wondering, that's the truth.
I mean, that's kind of common, like cloth don't do much, but if you have a real mask, it's going to keep you sneezing and not spat it out at everybody.
You've had to wear those for years because of your allergies.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I break out all over my neck if I get near like mold or anything, and I have to wear those. Mm-hmm.
But that does happen. But if you were wondering, that is out now finally, that the cloth masks don't do any good. If you sneeze or you breathe, whatever you've got is going to go right on out to somebody else. So they've revised that, just so that you'll know that. Sad news this morning as we're learning. Who remembers Chris Everett? She was a big tennis star when I was young. I've never watched tennis. I don't know anything about it. I picked up a racket one time, and I was no good at it. I swung and swung at it, and I put it down, and I never touched it again.
Might want to touch it, though.
Yeah.
See if you're good.
I'm not. Chris has been diagnosed with cancer, ovarian cancer. We wish her luck. We pass along prayers to her as she enters her first round of chemo treatment.
Cancer's scary.
I don't care who you are. You know someone that's been affected by cancer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very serious disease, and we hope that one day there will be a cure for it.
I hope so.
Who remembers us talking last week about the young lady who took the nighttime job at a Burger King? She comes in, a guy comes in, robs her. She hands him everything the register has. It was only $100 in it, and the robber killed her anyway. Point blank range, shot her. He's been arrested. They've caught him, and guess what? Oh, he's a career criminal. He had just gotten out of jail for stabbing somebody with a screwdriver. He was on the streets to do what he does best, and we have judges that let people out like this.
If y'all have watched about like serial killer documentaries like Ted Bundy, the more they let them out, the more they're going to kill. They don't change in like a couple days, so they should be locked up forever for doing like killing someone like intentionally like that. Keep them away because they're just going to come back and do the same thing, which you would think they have common sense, but no.
No, as the prisons get larger and larger with overfilling, they turn them out. And then they go and repeat the crimes once again. I don't know what the answer is, but we need somebody with some common sense that goes in and takes over all of this and handles it. Our prisons are overflowing, but it's full of people that need it. And, well, if they don't need to be there, then we need to not send them to prison to begin with. But we've gotten to a point to where the people that do need to go are no longer sent.
You know, the people that doesn't need to or stuck in there forever.
Yeah, and look at this. Here's another one. A Los Angeles nurse who had worked at a hospital for 38 years, never late, a good woman, came to work every day, got off work, was standing outside at the bus depot, and she was beaten to death by a homeless man. What has this come to? Minding her own business again.
Yeah, she wouldn't do anything. She was just waiting to go home.
And she was beat to death there. The homeless population and the mental stability of America, of what roams the streets, has gotten atrocious.
Los Angeles is the worst. Like, that's where they say most of them is at.
Well, you've got laws that protect the criminals very highly in the L.A. area to where you're not punished for what you do. God rest her soul. trying to earn a living and murdered that way. That you
she's
cannot.
in a better place though now.
She is, but it wasn't right that she got there that way. Gosh, I feel for her family. That's just awful. It brings a tear to my eye, honestly, to think about that. So hopefully something will be done, but it is California. We don't know what will happen there. There you go. Let's talk about bad weather, because this is going to be coming. As we all know, as springtime nears, we have tornadoes. And if you have not gotten prepared, you need a little peace of mind. Talk to our friends at the Precast Group. They do this every day. They build them. What do? Storm shelters. Gives you peace of mind, gets you right on track there. This is how it looks when they bring it out. They can bolt this down, put it on your slab if you're building your home, and that can become your closet, your safe place that you go. Now, if you've already got your home built, don't worry about that. They can put this outside. Steel door, solid concrete. This weighs 20,000 pounds.
Good Lord.
It's not going to budge. It's going to be there. You've seen many pictures of these after a storm passes. This is all that's left, and this is what can be done for your place. Maybe you want it set in the ground, and you could design these. This has got a staircase that goes down in there, solid concrete, solid steel doors, and it can be hidden into a hill like that. However you want to do this, quickly out your back door to it, however you want to do it, that's what they look like. Talk to them today at the Precast Group. They'll fill in. It's very affordable. Find out how you can get one. 482-0003 is the number to call. Again, that's the Precast Group out on 145. See them today. They'll help you.
Don't hesitate. Call me. I am Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
And welcome back. Scotty Ray Madison as we travel through this. Who remembers Prince? I think most of us do. Little Red Corvette, When Doves Fly. He had a bunch of string of hits. And from what I understand, he's got enough recordings that he had made at his little compound to last for years that were recorded and never released. He died in 2016 of a drug overdose, an accidental overdose. Since then, we hadn't heard much about it, but family members have fought tooth and nail since he passed away, 5 siblings, for their share of what he had because he didn't have a will. 2 have since died. There are 3 left. They have finally come to an agreement that they will, why they didn't come up with this in the beginning, share everything equally is unknown, but they have finally reached a settlement, and that's going to happen to where it's broken evenly. He was valued at $156 million estate, and now I can't tell you how much the lawyers will get out of this, but they will get their chunk because the family members couldn't get along.
Sounds like some people we know.
Yeah. Yep, that does happen every day. But Prince, if you'll remember him, he was different. But a great singer in his own right, of his own genre of music. So there you go. What happened to New York City is our next question here. We heard as Eric was running that he would really take care of this and bring law and order back to New York. Since he has become mayor of New York, Eric Adams, we have not seen any of that. Actually, we've seen the DA tell more people that they wouldn't go to jail. New York is in a bad state right now. We hope that some common sense will come into play and that they will change things in New York, but it's not looking that way. It's really, really become, we see this weekend. Did you see this where a lady was pushed in front of a train? Somebody walks up, she's waiting for the train, and they pushed her in front of it.
That happens so much in New York. Like, they need to put, like, guard rails up, if they can, to prevent, like, people from jumping in there or, like, being pushed.
Something needs to happen. That's sad. Also, do y'all remember the girl from Full House, Lori Loughlin, if I'm pronouncing her name right? She went to jail a few months back. Here's her picture there. Lori Loughlin, maybe I'm saying it right. Her home was broke into over the weekend. They stole over $1 million worth of jewelry from her home. Can you imagine? $1 million. She's got quite the savings there, but she's been robbed there. That happened over the weekend. Also, the Atlanta Public Transit CEO, who is 56 over the weekend, there's more to this story than meets the eye, threw himself in front of a train this weekend and committed suicide. Most cases like this, you will find out that there was
a lot going on.
Yeah. We don't know what it is, but that happened. We want to say thank y'all for dropping by. Thank you, Madison, for coming in.
Welcome.
We'll hear from Candace. Maybe she'll make it back in the morning. We do hope so.
I'll take my payment at Popeyes. Buy me a Popeyes meal, please.
I'll get you a Popeyes for coming in. Thank y'all for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by